What's approaching the supreme moment, reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's up? Alright, let's go ahead and get started with part 2. This is going to be level 2 stage. If you haven't seen the level 1 video and looking for a guide, just refer to that first, and then you can check this video out. So this is against the physical type full power Bojack. So I did bring pretty decent strength team. So it's the Extreme Z Awakened Broly and then the LR Broly leads. So one is 70% versus the other at 90% stat boost, and then obviously you're gonna have that +3 key. So I wanted to bring in a mix of super and extreme types, so that's kind of why I went with the 2 format. Obviously Vegeta's on here to pretty much tank all the attacks, and then the Extreme Z Awakened Broly will definitely hit pretty hard because I have him at 100%. I did include Toppo because he does provide, you know, the 35% boost toward attack and defense for super types, and then also does drop the extreme type enemies defense, I think, by 50%. So it doesn't really apply for, you know, your extreme type allies, but it will help in terms of facing Bojack. Alright, so pretty much went with this because there really isn't another physical type boss on here that you really have to worry about. So you can essentially bring in your most powerful units for this one, and you know, go through it that way, because pretty much, like I said, yeah, you don't really have to worry about it because there isn't another physical type boss after this. So just bring in the best units you have and then just kind of clear it as quickly as possible. So again, in the last video I did talk about you know, you want to keep a count of how many units you have for each type. That way you can prioritize, you know, the types for where there's more than one boss in all 3 stages or levels. That's going to help you plan a little bit better. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Just take a look at your deck and then prioritize. I think for this one it was agility and physical type units. You'll need more of those because there's 2 total bosses with that. I think there are also 2 tech type bosses. So yeah, I mean, those 3 are the ones you want to consider when building, you know, the full team of 100 units. So just keep that in mind. So my strength team is actually pretty good, so not really struggling much. You know, Broly and, you know, both versions of Broly are taking care of business, and then, you know, Vegeta's there to tank, and then I've got Super Saiyan 4 Goku, LR Vegeta Blue, so a bunch of good units I just kind of threw in there to the mix, and just, you know, kind of finish this as quickly as possible and move on to the next one. So for that one, yeah, I mean, it was pretty quick. It took only about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So this is going to be the Agility Android 13, I think. So I brought in the Angel Goku and also the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Now, granted, I could probably replace Gogeta as sub-lead and put in, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks instead, because he would provide a better boost overall as a team. But honestly, I mean, as long as my, you know, top units or heaviest hitting units can benefit from both sides, it doesn't really matter. But looking back at it from hindsight, it's probably better to go with, you know, the Angel Goku for the 120% boost, and then Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks for the 70% boost. It's probably better overall as a team. I didn't really think about it too much, so I did put in my 100% potential Jiren on here, the free-to-play version, since he does have the ability to reduce damage taken by 50%. So, you know, as you can see, when you have a lot of attacks coming, it's certainly a good idea to include this guy on here. And the reason why I'm bringing pretty much the best of units for this event against Android 13 is I don't have to worry about it the rest of the levels. Like up to level 3, I'm not going to need any tech units. So I just kind of threw in the best ones I have and just kind of get through it as easy as possible. I mean, I had a lot of room to spare, you know. I mean, the guy only has about 4 HP bars, so like I said, quickly running through it. No need to conserve units for tech types. I mean, just throw in the best ones you got and get rid of it. So that was pretty much the second stage within level 2. And yeah, I mean, that one took a minute and 23 seconds, so barely took any time for that. And we are going to switch over to the Broly stage. So I brought in pretty much a super agility type team. So I have my Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta lead, and then sub lead is the I think it's Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It kind of went by pretty fast, but I'm pretty sure that's who I brought in because I wanted to reserve my Super Vegito for the stage against Goku Black, since I rather have a focus on, you know, the ability to counter and provide as much damage as possible, because Goku Black will seal SAs for certain units, so that's kind of what I was thinking there, and I'll cover that in the next video. Alright, so not overly concerned with this one either, although his super attack can definitely hit pretty decent, as you saw there, about 60k in damage, and I think my max is about 240,000, so I mean that's a good percentage of that. But again, as long as, you know, you bring in decent units, this one isn't too bad either. I did bring in Dispo here, but I'm almost thinking it might have been better to bring in another Saiyan just to link up better with everybody. I know he has the ability to dodge quite a bit, but when I tested this earlier, he didn't seem to you know, dodge that often. So I don't know, I guess it's give or take, or it's RNG based, but I don't know. For me personally, I think it would have been better to bring another Saiyan. That way, you know, the rest of the team will link up better and guarantee to get a super attack. But again, that's just my opinion, and you know, everybody's different, I guess. So yeah, pretty much heavy reliance on that Goku. I mean, I have him at pretty much 80%, so he definitely does hit the hardest out of all of them. That's kind of why I prioritized that Goku's attack over Vegeta the last round. And I did include this guy just for, you know, the HP recovery function for every key collected. So he does have the ability to recover 5,000 HP for every key collected. So unfortunately, I was just checking there to see if he gets a increase to defense for key collected, but that's not the case for for this guy. Now, I would have collected the agility key to maximize the Gotenks attack, but I want to think ahead of time for the next round and make sure you know, my units are able to get a super attack for the next coming round, because I don't want to waste, you know, I want to waste as little time as I need to in order to progress as quickly as possible, you know. Sometimes it's all about getting into a rhythm and you know, running through it, blasting through it as fast as possible. So got about 78,000 in HP left. Not really that comfortable, but I should be okay. I know Goku's gonna hit pretty hard here, and I'll go ahead and put Dispo in the middle in case he's able to dodge any attacks coming through. Alright, so 2 million in damage and pretty close to, yeah, I mean, we're pretty much good here. That's kind of, that's actually pretty hilarious that Dispo's the one that's finishing off the enemy with the little pose. Alright, so that is pretty much just quick run through on level 2. Again, hopefully this will give you an idea of what to expect on this level and help you with some team builds. All right.